हाय एवरीबॉडी। तो आज हमारे साथ एक बहुत ही स्पेशल गेस्ट है हु इज अ राइटर, और मेरे पास इस राइटर के लिए एक सरप्राइज है जो मैं आगे बताऊंगी आप लोगों को। पर चलिए सबसे पहले वेलकम करते हैं सार्थक को। ही विल जस्ट टॉक अबाउट हिमसेल्फ अ बिट। चलो सार्थक, प्लीज इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ टू माय ऑडियंस।
Thank you so much for this really generous and energetic introduction about me. Hi everyone, hi ma'am once again. I am Sarthak. I am currently a Delhi student of psychology master's program. At the same time, I am an author who has recently published his first traditionally published novel, that is Dust Dancers. And I have got that into the market recently in September only with Calamos Literary Services, that is based in Delhi again. My Dust Dancers is based about 6 different people who started dance group, a traditional Rajasthani dance group in India, and they have their own backstories. Each comes from a different background, and they present some beautiful colors to you. That I'm sure that if you pick up this book, you will find something really, really unique. As not just me, but my even reviews talk about it. So I hope you
Okay.
check about it. The book is available on
Okay,
Amazon
so
and every other place.
here comes the surprise. Okay, so I wanted to give Sarthak a surprise and a thank you gesture for joining me, अपना सारा ज्ञान हमारे साथ share करने के लिए. So Sarthak, here I have a surprise for you. Can you guess?
All right, you
Can you
got my
guess?
book.
Yeah, I just wanted to support your journey, and I got
Wow,
a
that's
surprise myself. ये किताब मैंने खरीदी और मुझे इसमें एक सरप्राइज मिला. वो Can you guess that surprise for me? What is the surprise I got from reading this book?
what was that? You have a character that is in this named Mitali only.
Exactly. तो हम लोग जब me and Sarthak हम लोग पहली बार we met at a book club. सब लोग छोटे ही थे वहाँ पे. I was the only one with gray hair. तो वहाँ पे I met Sarthak and he was introducing himself. मैं footage डालूंगी यहाँ पे. मेरे पास एक footage है when you were introducing your book. तो मैंने उसमें कहा था कि it will be like great कि आगे जाके you write a book and you put me, a character like me into it, and see how the book of secrets works here. Like I wished for it, and you had already written a character with my name, and I was like showing my husband, see, I met this guy suddenly and he's already made this book, इसको publish कर दिया and everything, and there is a character in my name. मतलब शुरू से end तक that character's name is there, though वो main protagonist नहीं है, but the name is there. So I was
But
like,
that character plays a very important role in this book. So when you read it, you will figure it out how important Mitali is in this book.
yeah. So I'm all me, the character, not the character, but my name is again and again, and even the beautiful explanation about my name. So I'm really very happy that I picked up this book, and मैंने तो पढ़ लिया है, but I would really like you guys to check out the book. और मैं डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में इसका लिंक दे दूंगी. अमेजिंग. देखो, अगर आप इसको किसी को गिफ्ट करोगे तो एस्थेटिक वैल्यू ऑफ द बुक, और क्योंकि ये इंस्पायर्ड विद स्टोरीज फ्रॉम राजस्थान है, पिंक सिटी इंस्पिरेशन इज देयर. सो वैसे जोधपुर में बेस्ड है ना, आई थिंक योर स्टोरी.
Yeah, it's based in Jodhpur.
हाँ, जोधपुर इज आई थिंक ब्लू सिटी.
Yeah, it's the blue city of India.
Yeah, so maybe the next one will come out in blue cover as well. So reminding us about our association with Rajasthan and the pink city and things like that. Very unique book, I must say. Really happy that I picked it up, and I am also very happy I'm supporting your journey. So that's a surprise from me to you. Now
Thank you so
coming,
much.
yeah, I'm so glad. Just tell us a few things about your book, 2-3 lines, like what was the inspiration and how you got this book into your mind, and who are the people who will enjoy reading it, some things like that.
Okay, I started writing this book when I was in class 11th. It took a lot of efforts, a lot of research work to bring it out what it is today. While making the 6 different characters, I made sure this thing that person belonging to any background, regardless of whatever genre you enjoy reading or exploring about things, if you're a dancer, a musician, or if just an artist who wish to follow their dreams, you will love this book because there will be something or the other that you will definitely relate to in this book. So I'm sure that everyone will find something or the other, from romance to the flirtiness to the chasing of dreams, that they could relate to with these characters.
Great, great. I already read, so I have a, I couldn't finish the book, but yeah, I have started reading it. There were a million things going on. Sorry about that, but I'm definitely going to finish. And post a shorts review about the book as well. Unboxing that I've already shot, and it was a surprise. So I haven't posted it yet, but I'm definitely going to
Okay.
be doing a review about it on this channel. So coming to the point of discussion, जो मेरे audience may be interested हो, बहुत लोग हम लोगों में से सोचते रहते हैं we want to go ahead and write a book of our own. Like for that, like you can give us some pointers as to how somebody can go ahead and create a book of their own if they are
All right.
thinking
So,
about it.
yeah, so mostly I would be talking about my experience of writing fiction novels. That's a complete different thing from writing a non-fiction book or any inspirational book or something like that. A fictional book has a story at its core. So, first of all, you should have a clear plot, or even if you don't have a clear plot, you should have that drive to continue that story from the page first till the last page. So, if you're a writer and if you yourself are not sure of how to start the story or how to end the story, that's the part you need to figure out first before actually starting to write. Obviously, I'm not the person who says ki you need to have an entire clear plot line way ahead of writing the book to create a proper novel. But at the same time, you should have a picture, like at least a hazy background of it, that what you are inspiring to create. How does the final picture is actually going to look like? You should have these brief ideas. Beside that, if you have a particular niche area that you are working in, like I was working with the Rajasthani dance group and the Mangania dancers, so I wanted to research about them. I had to see, ki, okay, what kind of dance forms are there, what kind of instruments do these people use, कहाँ इनके programs होते हैं, क्या चीजें होती हैं, वो सब मेरे लिए रिसर्च करना इंपॉर्टेंट हिस्सा था, बिकॉज आई कांट बी फैक्चुअली रॉन्ग इन दीज थिंग्स. एंड अगर कोई रॉन्ग होता है इन सेंस में और कोई इंसान है जो उस बुक को पिकअप कर रहे हैं फ्रॉम दिस पर्सपेक्टिव दैट दे वुड गेट टू नो अबाउट मोर डांस फॉर्म देन दे ऑलरेडी नो, दे माइट फील लाइक सॉर्ट ऑफ बिट्रेड कि अगर उन्हें जो फैक्ट्स पता है वो वहां पे गलत है बुक में. So same goes if you're working with a historic fiction book, a book set in the time of, let's say, partition or
Yeah,
emergency period
because
of India.
you have mentioned in your this thing also that you are into this Indian culture and traditions, and
Right.
you have a background in psychology, and a lot of those things play a factor in framing of the plot and creating of.
Exactly.
And जब आप किसी fact के साथ fiction को merge करते हो ना, there is the beauty of actually living in the storyline. Like once you really talk to a book reader, they'll say that I see a particular thing happening in the book. We actually visualize it while reading, so it makes it more real. Like it's more intertwined with our lives, and it makes the experience more enjoyable, है ना? उसके facts को
Definitely.
cross checked and researched
हाँ,
करके आगे जाना.
that is very important. Yeah.
Yeah.
And after that, editing becomes an important role. But as a writer, you should not be too much concerned about being grammatically correct. You have to first focus on the story. Language will eventually come. Your own
So
editing that you will
you are
do
the
through
person.
several drafts.
Sorry, I'm just asking
It's okay. It's okay.
questions
Yeah.
as they come in my mind. So, were you referring to somebody or getting it cross checked by somebody as you were working with your manuscript? Like, do I need to change the language, make it more flowery, or was it like you only doing everything on your own, or was there somebody who was like reviewing your work as you were going about it? Some mentor or some.
Yeah, definitely. My elder sister was the one person that I was constantly showing my manuscript to again and again. So she could tell me, okay, this is looking way too dramatic, or this is looking way too like stretched apart in the story. And obviously, through even my reading, the book has gone through several times of me growing up. From an 11th class Sarthak to the college final year Sarthak, there has been significant changes in the maturity level as well. So I could also figure out ki what are the things that are like too childish or too dramatic in the story and how I need to make them much better. So that was the thing. And finally, the main editing was done by the publishing house, in-house editors which were there, whose services I took.
Okay, great. So that was in the publishing kit, like you were given a kit that these features will be there when you publish with us. Let's get
No,
to
in
that.
traditional publishing, there are no such as such kits or packages. That's a self-publishing thing entirely. In traditional publish, they offer you things like, okay, entirely everything about the book will be done by us. But since we accept only edited manuscripts, you can have an offer that we have an in-house editor. You can pay them the amount and they will edit the book for you. And
Okay.
that is easy for us to manage.
So you had to pay an editor to get things in place. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's continue our discussion. Like you were talking about how you went into. I just like cut you in between and came in with my thoughts. Let's
Right.
continue where your thought process was going.
All right. So I was talking about research work, which forms a very important part in your book. Besides that, one thing I would say that is very, very important is reading everything that is related to your genre. Like, for example, if you decide to write a romance fiction, it's very important for you to not only listen to romantic music, but also read romantic poetry, romantic novels, rom-coms, watch movies, whichever stuff is out there. So you can have an idea of what exactly is the genre comprising of and what is already been talked about, so you don't have a repetition of the same thing, because in many genres there is a problem ki repetition bahut hoti hai. For example, like a thriller or a detective fiction, if you are just always putting the blame on the housekeep or the stuff for that, for the murder of the person, it is a repetition of the story. So how can you make that unique? See what are the new trends that are happening and get inspired. I'm not exactly saying copy some stuff from the rom-com movies or stuff like that, but get inspired. When
Yeah,
you will be
I'll put
inspired
in
and
a
you have your
plug-in
own
here.
story, you will do something.
I'll put in a plug-in here. Like my company's name is Inspirathon, which comes in from Inspiration Marathon. So like,
Right.
so we are a social media marketing agency. So I just put in that plug-in here that how the name of my company came into being. So you continue now with your.
Yeah, so exactly. You need an inspirathon with you. You need to be on this constant run to be inspired from every place that you are in. Either you travel to different places, meet new people, meet your old acquaintances in life. Just find that stories can be found anywhere in a person. Like Savi Sharma's book says, "Na, everyone has a story." So that's literally true. Everyone has a story. You just need to listen to them, observe them carefully, and voila, you might have a book of your own. So
Definitely.
that's the way that you work with or start creating art. It's an art basically, and art takes time. Art takes the entirety of you. So you need to give in your soul and your entire dedication to that work. It's not like a part-time thing. Ki hobby mein kabhi kabhi likh liya and the book might come. You have to give in everything at that point. So that's about it. How you start with writing a book.
So you mentioned something about traditional versus self-publishing in India. Would you like to point out something regarding that?
Sure. So, in a very recent time, like after Chetan Bhagat became the most popular author of India, many people started believing that we can also write our books. And that was the point when they decided to approach publisher. But there are some publishers like who have this interest in publishing only quality content. And distinguishing between these two things can take a lot of time. Now, imagine a publisher like Penguin that has 10,000 manuscripts waiting in its pipeline that people are approaching. Ki, we want to get published with Penguin. Now, Penguin cannot publish everyone because they also have a budget, they also have a limit that they need to work with, and they also have a quality standard. Penguin's book are not like any other book that they can publish easily. So in this place comes self-publishing houses. At this point, I'm not saying कि self-published houses कुछ भी publish करते हैं और उनकी quality अच्छी नहीं है, ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. Self-publishing houses का benefit ये होता है कि you have much more hand in the business of the book publishing process. Like being an author, if you are into with self-publishing, like my first two books before Dust Dancers were Dust on the Swings and Few Clouds and Rain, they were self-published books. The benefit there is that I have more control over how the book publishing process goes, of how fast I want my book to come out in the market, and obviously the acceptance process of your manuscript and the entire judgment of that process is much faster. Plus, you can decide upon how much you want to spend and how much your book will eventually make progress. So it's like how much you put in, how much you get out is more or less equal. In traditional, the sense is much different. They are like you send a book through either a book agent or directly through the editor. The editor or the agent will decide ki whether this book has a marketability associated with it, whether it will be sell itself in the market. And on that basis, they decide whether they want to publish their book or not. After that, they decide upon a small royalty amount जो author को मिलती है उसमें से on each sale that is made, and how much marketing the book will go through and stuff like that. Like right now, I'm a debut traditionally published author, which means that my publishing house will support me in every manner, which is there in terms of distributing the book across India. If a person sitting in Kashmir to Kerala, everyone will be able to purchase my book, but the part of marketing still lies with me only at this point because I'm a new author. I need to make my mark in the market on my own. On the other hand, if we talk about an author like Amish Tripathi or Durjoy Datta, they already have a market associated with them.
Hmm.
So the publishing house can put in money automatically in promoting their works. Uh, if we go on to the self-publishing place, that's completely up to me. I want to do a book launch event, I can do it. I have to pay for it. I want to have a global bookstore signing event. I can do that. Just have to put in my money. So if you have a huge budget, you can even go for self-publishing. That will be beautiful. Or if you want to be like recognized with a good brand name, you
Hmm.
have to have a lot and lot of patience
Hmm.
and go with the traditional flow.
So you
But
have
yeah, both
start
are equally good.
you have started very early on your in your life, and I'm very sure like you're going to be the next. a replacement for Chetan Bhagat in our country. That's my wishing for you. We are very short on time, but there are a few things I just wanted to put out. Like there are a few things I would like to ask you, and there are some things that we had discussed about, like approaching literary agents. How do you go about it? And then, of course, you have to for editing and proofreading. You said that you were approaching them through the uh,
Publishers.
publishers publishers
Right.
and then there are two more points that I would like to discuss, but let's come to this approaching the literary agents. How do you go about it?
Okay, so literary agents in India, as compared to outside, there are very few literary agents, but they are really, really amazing if you approach them and they like your book. And if a book goes to a good literary agent's hand, you can just understand that now the work is done, and they will definitely get to a good publishing house. So we have a suitable agency here, and there is Jacaranda Book Agency as well. Sorry, I might be pronouncing it wrong, but that's another name. There are a lot of people. One can search on Himalayan literary retreat, something like that. There's a page that talks about a lot of literary agents in India, and one could easily approach them. All they have to send is a synopsis of the book, what the book is about, a complete detailed summary of the book, along with about you. If you are already a published author, if you are a person doing some academia work or whatever like that, you have to tell about yourself and wait for their reply. Usually they reply whether they are interested in your book or not. Take any form of rejection not as something you need to throw your book away, but basically as an opportunity to work on your book in a much better manner. Because these guys know that what good books are constitute of. So if they are giving you some feedback, always take in a positive light and work on your book in a better manner after that.
that
So
goes
that's how
with
you go for literary agents or publishers.
that goes with any kind of feedback. You have to take it with a pinch of salt. Coming to the next thing, that I have something on my mind which I wanted to ask you about. You have experience with designer, a software called Designer. I've been working with them as an affiliate. So via Designer, they say that you can create a manuscript and get the book's PDF form made, and do you want to throw some light on that? Do you have an experience or a thought process related to that? Like, what do you think about Designer as a software? Any idea about that?
No, I haven't used Designer. I have no idea about it. The most so closely associated things that I've heard are basically Canva or Adobe that are used for such purposes. But if you're working on your own book as an author, I would say don't get into this stuff as a software work because that has to be the specialist. Always associate yourself with a good agency that works in this field. That's always a better thing because they will be knowing about it much more. If you do it, it might be an amateur work. So it's better a book pe kaam karo
So also,
than
I'll
associating
get
that.
back to you and put the link in this video's description also if anybody is interested, and we'll discuss it over the phone. Like what you are not aware of it right now, so we can like discuss it and maybe
Yeah,
share some future content when you come out with your new book, and then we'll be discussing about it.
definitely.
Because you said you have some future planning about the trilogy, like the third book that you're planning. You already published two books. One was self-published and one through the traditional publishing.
Oh, actually, about that thing, the trilogy is cancelled. The first book and the second book now have no link with each other. So the trilogy is cancelled. It's a different book that will be coming in the
Okay,
market.
so we will be having a book in the future. There is
Yeah.
like a prospect. Coming to the last section of this video, I like to ask you, like I had given you some inputs regarding the social media marketing aspect of things, uh, because we were discussing about how you can go about promoting your book, and you have been doing it. I've been following you, though not been interacting, but I've been following what you've been doing on social media. So like now that you have been working on this field for a while, promoting your book on social media, so last will be you giving out some pointers that's worked for you and what you would be looking forward to, and if you have some queries still, like if we can work upon it and things like that.
Yeah,
Social
definitely.
media.
I had been taking a lot of advice from you, and that has been really helpful to me. And besides that, the experience that I've gained over the past 2, 3 months on working on my book on social media promotion, I would say Instagram has emerged as a very giant business place where you can promote your work and tell people about it. You can take the help of a lot of influencers which are there, influencer marketing that is known as, and that is really beneficial. You can contact even social media agencies like the one that Mithali ma'am runs. That is amazing. Like you can definitely connect with her about the various tips and the things that could be done.
Yeah,
There are
counseling.
lot of Yeah, that's very important because when we are new into the field, we can always learn, obviously learn from some experts about it.
Yeah.
And reels are something that are really, really important in today's time because they have a great outreach. So reels are a good thing. LinkedIn is also something that ma'am told me about, and it's really fascinating to work there as well. And besides, it's like being consistent in your work on social media because eventually, if you are new in any sort of field, you will need to tell people about yourself. It not people will one day dream and okay, say the book is Sarthak by come out, let's buy it. You
Yeah,
have to go out in the market and tell
I
people.
have a very, excuse me, I'm interrupting you. I have a example which I tell people usually, like Taj Mahal was built, but somebody had to find it and show it to people for
Ah,
it to be recognized by the world. So that is how
true.
you go about telling people about what the Taj Mahal is all about, your content is all about, and then only people will get to know about it. So continue, please, Sarthak. I'm just interrupting you again, again,
No,
but I
that's
just
the
wanted
thing.
to be
That's the thing I was
so
saying. Ki
interactive.
exactly, you need to tell people about now. So it can be either you, it can be the either social media agency that you are working with, or it can be some influencer marketing that you are associating yourself with. Do it in any form. Just be creative when you are marketing because basic kind of reels, the trending thing everyone is seeing. Obviously, it's good to hop onto the trends that are there on social media, but be unique with your approach. Because how else will people see that there are a lot of people selling a lot of things on the internet? How will you stand out? So always find that niche area where you can stand out differently. And in that, again, I'm saying that counseling by social media experts like Mithali ma'am can really, really help you
Thank
and can benefit you in a great way. That's it.
Thank you. Now that we have so much little time with us, and I'm so sorry we were supposed to do it for 10 minutes, we stretched it because we had so much to talk about. I'm glad and I'm very hopeful that we'll come up with another session with you very soon about your experience using the reels for promotion of your book. That will be
Yeah,
a
definitely.
very pointed and very niche or related topic that we might do in future. Right now you also have to run to some errands, and I'm so glad you took out the time for us here on
It was my
Inspirathon.
pleasure.
Yeah, I'm so glad, Sarthak, I found you, and I'm just loving the book, and I'm so glad
Thank you
I'm
so much. That was
supporting
a
you.
beautiful surprise that you just gave.
Yeah, I'm supporting you, and I hope to see you do great in your life. Thanks for
Thank you.
being here. Everybody, please subscribe to the channel if you want more content related to such topics, how to do this, how to do that, and also put in your questions if you are facing some problem in some book related issues, and Sarthak will be there to help you out with that content, maybe through a short video or on his profile. Follow his, I'll be sharing his profile also in the description box, and you can connect with him directly there, and also check out this book's link that will be in the description. And I'm so glad everybody is here. Bye for now, see you soon,
Thank you.
Sarthak. So I have